Chloe, no last name, just the girl who owns 47 lip glosses, 3 plates, one very dramatic houseplant named Kevin, who has absolutely seen too much and is currently drafting his memoir, and a kitchen counter that has been buried under 2 solid weeks of unopened mail like a paper-based archaeological dig, stands barefoot in her apartment at 4:12 p.m. on a Thursday that smells like vanilla candle, fresh coffee, and the kind of electric anticipation that makes the air feel thick enough to taste, wearing an oversized off-the-shoulder lavender hoodie that has completely given up the fight to stay on either shoulder, and the tiniest black cotton shorts ever invented. They're basically a rumor with pockets. Hair twisted up in a knot, held together by a single chewed-up pencil, 2 bobby pins, and the sheer force of delusion when 3 calm, confident knocks land on her door. You guys, I'm Chloe, 22, fairy lights glowing low and conspiratorial even though it's broad daylight, lo-fi playlist on its 6th hour of the slowest, filthiest beat it owns, afternoon sun pouring through the windows in thick, golden sheets, Kevin the plant side-eyeing me from the windowsill like he's already live tweeting this entire interaction, and this is happening right now. 4:12 p.m. on a Thursday that just looked at the script and said, "Hold my coffee." Hit subscribe, ring the bell, comment the last time. Did you get my mail? Turned into the hottest, longest, best delivery of your entire life. Let's go. I open the door. Everett is leaning against the frame like he was sculpted there. Soft charcoal Henley with the sleeves shoved high enough to commit felonies. Dark jeans that hug in ways that should require a permit. Salt and pepper hair perfectly imperfect. Green eyes crinkled with that half-confused, half-amused, fully lethal look that could restart a dead heart. He's holding one of those little yellow, "Sorry we missed you," slips in one hand and a half-finished iced coffee in the other, like he was on his way back upstairs and decided fate looked exactly like my doorway. "Hey," he says, voice low and lazy and warm enough to melt the polar ice caps. "Any chance the mail carrier did that thing again? I'm missing a thick envelope from the city. Cream paper, my name typed. Probably looks official and boring. Ring any bells?" I laugh, too loud, too breathless, already toast. "Honestly, my counter currently has its own zip code. I haven't touched the pile since last week. Come excavate with me before it evolves sentience." He steps inside, kicks the door shut with his heel, and the apartment shrinks to the size of one shared heartbeat. We end up shoulder to shoulder, then hip to hip, then practically one person. At the kitchen counter, my bare arm brushing his every time I reach for another stack, his chest grazing my back every time he leans across me to grab a new handful of envelopes. The search starts perfectly innocent. Bills, junk, coupons for oil changes I don't need, a wedding invitation for someone named Current Resident, a Victoria's Secret catalog that makes us both raise an eyebrow and laugh, how the mail guy has been mixing us up for 4 straight months, and we should probably just start a joint P.O. box and call it Fate, how Kevin the plant is 100% taking mental notes for his future TED Talk. Safe lasts exactly 5 minutes. Every time our fingers brush while passing envelopes, neither of us pulls away. We just let the touch linger, spark, burn. Every time he laughs, low, warm, right against my ear, the room gets smaller and warmer and louder in all the quiet ways. Every time I lean across him to grab another pile, my hoodie slips further off my shoulder and his eyes follow the movement like it's the only thing happening on planet Earth. The air thickens, sweetens, absolutely ignites. He finally finds the envelope, thick cream paper, his name typed in crisp black ink, wedged between a pizza coupon and my credit card offer. He pulls it out slowly but doesn't step back, doesn't even look at it. "Found it," he says, voice rougher than it was 10 minutes ago. Eyes locked on mine instead of the paper. I bite my lips so hard I taste cherry gloss. "Told you my mail was a disaster area." He still doesn't move. I don't either. We're still hip to hip, close enough that I can smell cedar and coffee and warm skin and the faint trace of the iced coffee on his breath. Close enough that the envelope is literally the only thing keeping a millimeter of space between us. His hand lifts, slow, deliberate, giving me every possible out, and tucks a loose strand of hair behind my ear, thumb lingering on my cheekbone, tracing down to the corner of my mouth like he's been memorizing the path for months. "You okay?" he asks, voice barely above the lo-fi beat. I answer by closing the last millimeter. The kiss is immediate, open, hungry, perfect. like the mail finally getting delivered after months of wrong addresses and almosts. The envelope flutters to the floor like a white flag of surrender. His hands slide under the hoodie to the bare skin of my waist. My back meets the fridge with a soft, magnetic avalanche, and the only thing left getting sorted is us. Finally, we don't leave the kitchen for hours. There are slow, barefoot dances with no music except the lo-fi playlist, looping the same perfect song for the 9th time. Whispered confessions against collarbones about how he's been accidentally checking his mail at the exact minute I get home for weeks. Laughter that turns into happy tears when I admit I started ordering dumb stuff online just so there'd be more chances of a mix-up. Coffee that goes cold 3 separate times, because neither of us can be trusted to care about caffeine when there are collarbones to trace. Quiet promises pressed against wrists and hip bones, and the spot just below my ear that makes my knees forget their job entirely. 17 p.m., we migrate to the couch, legs tangled, fairy lights flickering like gossip. He steals the important envelope, flips it over, writes something on the back with my favorite black pen while I watch, breathless. When he hands it to me later, it says, "Return to sender. My heart's been at your address for months. P.S. Keep the package." Hearts? 49 p.m. Sunset leaks peach and rose and molten gold through the windows. We attempt to cook, pasta, because it's the only thing I own, and fail spectacularly. Water boils over, sauce splatters, smoke detector threatens mutiny. We end up eating it anyway, straight from the pot, sitting cross-legged on the counter, feeding each other forkfuls between kisses that taste like garlic and forever. 33 p.m. We finally clean up the mail, mostly him, me supervising from the counter with kisses as payment. The important envelope gets pride of place on the fridge under a magnet shaped like a tiny mailbox. Kevin the plant has turned away in polite disapproval. 7 a.m. We're slow dancing again, barefoot on the rug, hoodie long gone, his Henley a distant memory on the floor next to a trail of envelopes and the yellow "Sorry we missed you" slip that started it all. The lo-fi playlist finally gave up and switched to something softer, slower, perfect. 22 a.m. We fall asleep on the couch under a single blanket, his head on my chest, my fingers in his hair, the envelope with his handwriting tucked safely between us like a love letter the universe wrote itself. Chloe winks at the camera, phone propped on the windowsill, where it's been recording since 4:11 p.m., battery clinging to 1%, red light still bravely glowing, hoodie completely missing in action, the envelope with his handwriting pressed against my heart, fairy lights and moonlight, and the quiet, perfect hum of a Thursday that just delivered everything I never knew I ordered. And that's the full, uncut, heart-exploding 2 weeks of unopened mail, mixed-up envelopes, all afternoon into forever, yellow slip that started it all story of how "Did you get my mail?" became the single best, longest, hottest delivery of my entire life. Some packages don't need stamps. They just need the right address to finally stop pretending they're not already home. Like, subscribe, ring the bell, comment the last time a wrong envelope turned into the right everything. Chloe's dangerous desires just got delivered, and I'm never, ever returning to sender.